And what are you doing here today?
I'm here to support the RMT and all affiliated unions to the TUC. I've been lobbied by constituents, rightly so, who are demanding a general election, but also a completely change of emphasis from this government who are attacking people who are actually going out on strike as a last resort.
We're hearing that there's going to be minimum service legislation put in, which means strikers will be forced to go into work. What do you make of that?
Well, it's a fundamental attack on democracy. You know, everybody should have the right to withdraw labour, and it's absolutely outrageous that we're even talking about this, and it does show you the success of both the RMT, CWU and the trade union movements in changing public opinion. They've won public opinion, and I think the government, the establishment are absolutely terrified, they're running scared, and they're trying to move the goalposts.
Could you tell me why a member of public should support the strikes?
I think it's a fundamental right as a member of parliament and a Labour member of parliament and a trade unionist that I'm out supporting people who are struggling, because I've been on that, I've done that myself. I've been on picket lines, I've been out on strike for 6 months, and how important it is to feel that solidarity from not just the trade union members but also your member of parliament and people who are there to represent you. So I think it's a fundamental importance.
So you've just left quite a fiery Prime Minister's questions, and the main subject seemed to be Suella Braverman and why she is still Home Secretary. Do you think that she should still be in post?
No, I don't think anybody that carries their ideology should be anywhere near a post of state. It's terrifying, some of the things that she's actually saying, you know, about the situation as it stands now. So she just pours petrol onto fires. You know, she should be there to do her job and make sure that everybody's treated in a fair and just manner. And what's happening in the census is just appalling. It shames our country.
What do you think about the narrative at the moment to people crossing the Channel? How do you think that we should be tackling the small boats crisis?
It's quite simple. Refugees welcome.
I want to talk to you about the news this morning that the UK could be experiencing blackouts this winter. I don't know if you saw this at all. What do you think that says about the United Kingdom?
Well, it shows you that there's been a complete lack of preparation, a complete lack of investments. You know, all we've seen since 2010 is just a stripping away of what this society needs, and the outsourcing of everything to private firms, you put profit above absolutely everything. And what we're seeing now is a tipping point. You know, you look at every single elements of what we hold dear, you know, you can just see it getting ripped away. And this is 40 years of neoliberalism and just taking away everything that we own, and this is where we are now. And hopefully there's a tipping point in society where people are demanding change. You can see it now, the opinion polls, renationalised water, renationalised energy, the trains, you know, people are seeing that privatisation just has not worked.
What do you think your constituents in Liverpool will make of it?
Blackouts. Yeah, I think they'd be terrified. They'd be thinking it's 2022 and, you know, we're in a situation where we're one of the richest countries in the world, and 6 weeks ago we had a budget which funneled billions into the richest pockets. That's now been rolled back on, but the ideology is exactly the same. The ideology is exactly the same, and, you know, the people who are struggling in my constituency, you know, yesterday we presented a report to Parliament about the 1950s women who were stripped of their pensions. My email box is terrifying. People are struggling, absolutely struggling. So they'll be looking here for answers and not seeing anything. They're just seeing discourse, division. You mentioned Braverman, you know, the narrative that she's painting. It just shames the country, and it's worrying.
We've got a consultation opening about free school meals again. It's sort of like Groundhog Day. We're discussing it over and over. Do your constituents, I mean, what do they make of it? More free school meals, universal school meals? What would you advocate for?
Well, with the Right to Food campaign, you know, I've been advocating this since 2019, and universal free school meals is an absolutely key part of that, and that should be seen as an investment in this country. That's the argument I've been making on a consistent basis, and I've got the full support of my constituency on that. You know, we sat in this place 4 weeks ago now with Henry Dimbleby, who was in charge of the reports for Michael Gove on the National Food Strategy. 100% in agreement that universal free school meals is the way we should be going as a society. So that should be an open and shut case. I'll be making that case to the Labour Party as well, but universal free school meals should underpin our society.